out as well. Thank you, Julietta. So make sure you have your 5 authorized users, as most of our communication goes to primary contact and authorized users. If you are having trouble finding a faculty or staff advisor, please email us as well. Thank you, Barry, for popping that into the chat at Get Involved. And we have an advisor listserv that we can connect you with various employees at the institution. So just make sure you're taking the time that as you're making your page look really great and inviting, that all of your communication portals are up to date and ready to go. Any questions before I move on outside of RowdyLink? All right. So re-registration. If you have not re-registered yet, your re-registration is accessed via RowdyLink. The priority date is September 9th, so you have a little bit of time. And just to share, our review period is about 3 to 5 days. So if you submitted and maybe you haven't heard from us in a day, just note that we are processing these as quick as we can, but this is kind of our review timeline. If you are currently frozen because you didn't attend state mandated last year or RowdySync, completing this session at the end will unfreeze you. So just make sure that whenever I pop that link into the chat at the very end, you click it and show that you've attended our session. And make sure as you're prepping for your re-registration, here are some things to have ready. So you do need the ABC 123s of all your 5 authorized users, as that's how we get them into RowdyLink. You need a signed faculty staff agreement. And as a note, if you're a member of a fraternity or sorority and you have an off-campus affiliate advisor, in your specific registration, there is an affiliate advisor sheet that we additionally need you to fill out. And then of course, for everybody, a copy of your bylaws with all of the requirements. You can find the requirements in our student organization handbook, which is located on the homepage of RowdyLink as well. So I'm going to take a pause and see if there are any questions about re-registration before I move on. Okay. So now let's get into involvement fair. So I am going to start this off with a preview video that was released from Campus Labs, which is the person who oversees RowdyLink. So give me 1 second. Out of curiosity, Barry, can you see my internet or do you still see my PowerPoint?
You'll see your PowerPoint.
Okay, perfect. Let me then stop sharing and go to my browser. Okay.
Now it's the internet.
Okay, perfect. And then let me make sure my computer sound is on. And then let me go ahead and hit play.
We are excited that you are interested in joining a virtual fair. Let's walk through how to find the fair in your events list and join the experience once the fair is live to learn more about involvement opportunities at your institution. First, to view any fairs that are happening within your institution's event list, we're going to log into Engage, and once on the homepage, you will click Events. Within the event directory here, you can search for any event happening within Engage, but today I'm going to search for our virtual involvement fair. Once I have found the individual fair at your institution, you can click on the individual fair and you will see some information about the fair itself, such as the start date and time of the event, the ability to add it to your Google Calendar or iCal or Outlook calendar so that you're constantly reminded that you have the fair coming up. The description and additional information will tell you what you need to know specific to your individual institution. Lastly, don't forget to RSVP to let your campus know that you'll be joining them. Once the fair is live, you will be directed to this virtual fair page when clicking on the event in your institution's event directory. Here you'll notice that the help desk will be available should members of your institution be available to answer any questions you maybe have about finding involvement opportunities. You'll have filters on the left-hand side, so search from your favorite keyword or a name of a specific organization, as well as categories that have been predetermined for all organizations on your campus. Each organization will have a summary about what you'll learn at the fair. You'll have the ability to request to join organizations you may be interested in if it's available for the specific organization. Otherwise, you'll want to meet online with the organization to learn a little bit more about how you join that individual organization and learn about what those membership requirements may be. If the organization is not going to be present live at the fair, you will see a contact button. This will take you directly to a page where you can ask about how to get involved or ask any questions of the leaders of the organization. We hope that you have fun learning more about involvement opportunities at your institution.
Alrighty, let me go ahead. Oh my gosh. Let me stop sharing my sound. Okay, guys, give me 1 second while I quit out on all of this. Oh, okay. Okay, let's go back to this PowerPoint and let me. Okay, so just to make sure you can see the involvement fair PowerPoint. Okay. So that was just a preview that, as Jarvis mentioned, Engage is campus labs that oversee. So that's what we predict for the attendee side to look like, as well as the organization side to look like. So you do have to have an approved registration on file. And then registration for the virtual involvement fair will open up on the 18th at 8 a.m. and will close the 30th. We will be emailing out to all groups next week a step-by-step instruction on how to access that event, what you need to have ready, so that way you're able to register an appropriate amount of time. If you're a group that's currently frozen and you're using this to unfreeze yourself, you still have plenty of time to be able to register as an active organization and be able to register for involvement fair. Some things to go ahead and start looking into are Zoom rooms. As you can see in our PowerPoint, over here with SGA, because they have a Zoom room, they can actually meet online with the attendees. But the biology club says, no, we just want to let people know we're here. Here's a way that you can just contact us. So you don't have to meet online if you don't want to, but then I think you may be missing out on some potential interaction with some students. We do encourage groups to sign up for both days on the 2nd and the 3rd. This year, since we are able to be virtual, and we don't have to necessarily worry about being in person, we now have the opportunity to capture more students who may have historically been in class or been at work, and then can now choose between 2 days to get to know students on campus. But it is not required. You can choose to only select one date or the other. In that instruction email, it's also going to let you know the times of these events. We definitely recommend practice using Zoom rooms with your organization beforehand and just practicing with Zoom in general. So that way, if every time somebody jumps into your Zoom room, you can go ahead and assign them to a breakout room. That way they're meeting with members either one-on-one or in smaller groups. If you're gonna decide not to use breakout rooms, which is completely fine, and you're just gonna have a big open Zoom room where people can jump in and out, we just recommend only having a few members in there so that way it doesn't get too big or too noisy. And then of course, to practice what you're gonna say, practice just like we would at a table when somebody jumps in the middle of your presentation to say, oh, I see a few people have joined us. We will kind of restart in a few minutes. So definitely take the time to kind of prep on what that Zoom room could look like. Before I move forward on involvement fair, are there any questions? Alrighty. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this over to Jarvis to talk a little bit about our fall programming.
So one of the things that we want to do in the fall, in addition to what's been offered in the past, is to continue with some of our RowdyLink Lunch and Learns, where you come in, learn a little bit about more of what you can do with RowdyLink, how you can enhance your page, how you can better make yourself available to the UTSA community. We also are going to have monthly workshops. All of the titles have not been solidified yet, but we are definitely working to enhance the student experience and ensure that we're also keeping in tune with kind of what's going on in different aspects of the world around us. Don't forget, during this time of virtual learning and work, our student activities virtual front desk will continue to be open. You can access that front desk quickly through RowdyLink. There's a link typically at the top of the banner, but our representatives are there to serve and take any questions. And if for some reason there is information that they are not able to answer, they are able to refer those out to us as staff so that we can help to continue to meet your needs. As always, we are still planning to participate in Roadrunner Days. We have a huge drive-through event that is happening at the beginning of Roadrunner Days that will allow individuals who are returning to campus and who just want to get a feel, particularly first-time students, incoming freshmen, transfer students, to get a little bit of knowledge and awareness of what UTSA has to offer. But the drive will be open to everyone. It'll be a SoundCloud type of device with faculty and some staff around to wave and smile and welcome you all into the new semester. We look forward to it being a great time. Those are just some of the things that we have on deck for fall, and we hope to capture your participation.
Thank you so much, Jarvis. Okay, so we were able to capture some questions beforehand. And so Jarvis, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about accountability with on-campus events should they not follow the Roadrunner Return to Campus document.
So as always, we definitely want all of our Roadrunner community to be safe. And as we're looking at the restrictions that have been, or the guidelines that have kind of been laid out by our university leadership, we definitely want to make sure that everyone is aware of, you know, if gathering the 10 people or less, and definitely making sure that we're pushing most of our operations to a virtual format. But whatever you are planning to do as organizations, if for some reason we are encountering violations, we will deal with them as we always have. We will set meetings to try to meet with that organization leadership. If need be, there will be referrals to student conduct, but I think that ultimately we all are doing our part and making sure that we are keeping safe, keeping one another safe. So I don't anticipate us having any issues. But again, should there be questions about, oh, this is what we're planning to do and we're not sure if we can, again, there's always the get involved email. You can always reach out to our virtual front desk to be able to answer any question marks that you might have before executing your plans as student orgs.
Thank you so much, Jarvis. I believe the other questions that were submitted were around virtual involvement fair, so I hope we were able to answer those. Before we transition into state management training, I just want to open the floor to see if there are any other lingering questions. As when state mandated risk management training is over, I will be putting into the chat the check-in for this session, so you can check in and get credit for attending, and then it will conclude our session. So please take the time now to, oh, bulletin boards. Barry, do you know if there's been any confirmation on what bulletin boards will look like in the fall?
Right now, we are looking to be able to, everyone will just keep their bulletin board assignment as it is, and will be coming out on that. But at this point, organizations will keep their current bulletin board assignments.
Thank you so much. Great question.
Great question.
Any other questions? And please feel free to also unmute yourself.
Yeah, just quickly. It's about the storage. I mean, we can go in when the fall semester opens and take our stuff or something like that. The storage room on the first floor, I guess. It will be open by that time.
That's a great question, asking about storage. We are in the process of finalizing some of those steps, and as we finalize that, we'll make sure it gets out to everybody. But again, always contact us. We're going to work with you individually. We're going to do what we need to do to help you be successful. So hopefully that will answer your question in broad terms. And then the specifics, we have some more information coming out. We're just, it's being finalized right now. And there's a couple of different other areas that also have to contribute to the document that we're creating. So you'll give us a little bit of grace on that. We'll be getting more direct information out about that. But in general, broad strokes, whatever we need to do to help our groups be successful is what we're going to do. And we'll work with each group individually if that's what's required. So thanks for that question, and we really appreciate it.
And then just note that I will, since I'm going to turn it over to Jarvis to facilitate state mandated, if things are coming in to your mind as you process through his presentation, again, please feel free to pop them in the chat, and I will be monitoring that to engage with you on any answers that we may know, or if we don't know the answers, I'll still respond to let you know we're working on it. That's a great question. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing to allow Jarvis to pull up his presentation.